Good evening, everybody. Hopefully, you're having a great Monday. Welcome to Main Character Monday. I am your host, Alicia, the Black Girls Den podcast, and I have a special guest with me, Brittany. She is a mother and daughter therapist. So I asked her to come on because we are talking about mother and daughter relationships featuring the show Sister Sister. And if you haven't watched Sister Sister, I don't know where you've been, but you can always watch it after you listen to this live, okay? So I wanted to welcome Brittany into the den. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This should be a lot of fun.
Yes, I definitely appreciate it. But if you want to, share just a little bit about yourself before we get into it, you can. Or
Yeah. So I'm Brittany Scott. I am a licensed professional counselor and I specialize in mother daughter relationships. And I have a coaching program for moms and adult daughters to help them reconnect after the relationship has been broken.
oh, I love that. That is so cool. Did you? So was that like your specific lane when you went to like school? Like was supposed?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, it just kind of like transformed. I worked with teen girls and like families,
Mm-hmm.
and then worked with like young adult women. So I was like the teen girls turning 18 and like emerging adults, and it just kind of blossomed out of that and learning how mom is usually at the center of a lot of things that girls go through. And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean it's always a bad thing, but moms are usually at the center. And so mother daughter relationships just kind of blossomed from there.
I love that. That is so cool. I might need to talk to you offline about that with the
Do
council.
it.
Yes. So as we know, Lisa Landry is Tia's mom. Um, they were adopted at birth. And the story is just kind of so funny to me because I'm just like knowing that this like the show was made up for them, which is so funny. And that's also Black Girl Magic for real, right? But anyways, um so Lisa Landry adopted Tia as a single mother, which I was like, okay, because you know how they always be trying to say like it's hard for like single parents to adopt. So I was like, okay, that's really cool. Um, we don't really know what she was like before she was in the house with Ray, but we can kind of assume just by the way that she mothers Tia. But she's very independent. Like she's like she has her own business. She's trying to like navigate that. And I thought it was really cool. Just a side note that both of them were like entrepreneurs because like you don't really see that much. So the fact that both of the parents was entrepreneurs, I really love that. But you see her like trying to make it, trying to get her Lisa by was it Lisa Designs by Lisa or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was trying to get that off, out the house. And while raising Tia, but then of course, they meet. And so now she has like I guess it's kind of like a bonus daughter, but it's like your twin's daughter. So I think that that was like an interesting perspective to see like a mom figure to like who she raised, and then like kind of like another mom to Tamara. Um, but like Tamara doesn't know her at all. So I think it was just interesting because Tamara's like mom passed away in the show. So that whole dynamic is interesting. And so I thought that it would be kind of great to look at the dynamics of how Lisa raises Tia and how Tamara kind of like comes into the fold and that. So that's kind of what I wanted to chat with you about today with the mother and daughter relationships. Do you have anything to add about the show that you felt like you seen on your side?
Yeah. No, I think that covers like just an intro of the show, but it was like both girls got like the opposite parent that they didn't have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Ray was strict.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Lisa was not strict at all. And so I think we could start off with that because I feel like Lisa just came in like she's like the fun, the chill parent. So how would you describe Lisa's parenting style?
Um, I definitely think she was a laid back parent, but I don't think she was so laid back that she was hands off. I think Lisa, for the most part, I think there were some moments where she could have been a little bit stricter, but for the most part, I think she had a good balance going
Hmm.
because she guided Tia when she needed to,
Mhm.
and I think they had good talks and like a good structure. Because
Oh,
yeah, Tia wasn't running wild, but she did have a little bit more freedom. So Lisa still, I think, did a good job, but she definitely was. If we're comparing her to Ray, she probably looks like she didn't parent at all. If we're comparing her to Ray,
I know that, and that's what I think. Yeah, it is kind of hard without comparing it to Ray, but isn't it so funny though? Like she is the less stricter parent, but Tia was such like a straight A student, and then Ray was a strict parent, and Tamara was like off the chain.
yeah, yeah, that happens sometimes. There's some rebellion the when parenting is like a little bit too tight, but I think they both had their moments. Like even the girls had to keep each other in check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tia was keeping Tamara in check.
I
Tia
don't
was.
even remember which one was which, to be honest.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like which sister went with which parent. I don't remember the twins'
Oh,
personalities.
oh, Tia went. Yeah, I remember Tia went when Lisa. Tamara went with Ray,
So
and then
wasn't Samara the more straight and narrow one? Like,
no, that was Tia. Tia was one with the straight A's. Tia was smart. Tamara was like clumsy, boy crazy, and didn't care about grades.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so then opposite.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was funny because Tia Tia was like she got on the what is honor roll. Ray was like, I was shot to the moons and Tamara got on the honor roll. Tamara has never been on the honor roll. But I just think it's funny because Ray had more structure
Yeah.
for Tamara.
Hmm.
And then maybe Tia, I don't know, maybe Tia didn't like Lisa's unstructuredness because Tia had more independence and freedom. She could ride the bus and stuff like that. Tamara, like the dad was picking her up. She couldn't talk to boys. He was very more strict
Yeah. But if we think about that in like real practice, who are the kids that we usually see, the teenagers that we usually see rebelling?
with the strict parents.
Yes. Yeah. So when there's no freedom to really grow in the way that teenagers want to, they rebel and then they do things that they just shouldn't be doing because now they're trying to force it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's why I thought it was interesting. But and Tamara's like, I mean, and Tia's like the straight parent. I mean the straight parent, the straight A student.
Yeah.
Um, do you feel like how do you feel Lisa was with like trying to be a parent to Tamara?
I think from what I remember, she showed up for both girls kind of in the same way. I think she tried to provide, um, you said Tia, right? Why did I just lose? Tamara. Yeah, okay. So I was on the right track. I think that she tried to provide Tamara with the discussions that she wouldn't get from Ray. Because Ray really wasn't sitting down talking to her. It was more of like, do this, do this, do this.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Lisa was more of like the talking parent, the one you could go to, like the one you could ask questions or, have like safer talks. I think if we're looking at Lisa as a parent, she was emotionally safe. She
Mm-hmm.
may not have been a big disciplinarian, but bringing your emotions to her, the girls were always like able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Fun fact. I think this is just what I think. I don't know. I think that Sister Sister was filmed the same place as Full House. I think like the same house. Like the same.
Possible.
That's just something random I thought because I was I was thinking about when they were talking like in the houses and stuff like that. You know how you see it. That's just what I thought. I would
Yeah.
always wonder what was behind there. Now I'm like, it was a whole studio, girl. Like when you just like, what is back there? But yeah, I do think. And so I was like, because we got to see Ray's parents. I don't know if we got to see Lisa's parents.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember if we got to see her parents, but I just wonder like how Lisa was raised. Um, and I wish we could have got like a little bit more background, but of course it was about the twins.
Yeah.
But I just but I was just like trying to see how Tamara was and how Tia was. I think that they were a great support like system for each other.
Hmm.
I think that that was good. But then I was like, sometimes you would see, I don't know, some people might have thought like Lisa was like more of like a friend to Tia rather than like, as you said, like a disciplinarian. Or she just like let Tia do anything.
Anything.
Yeah, and to that is what I was thinking. I was like, because also Tia wasn't really her daughter, like her real daughter, I should say, like her birth daughter. Maybe I should say it like that. Wasn't her birth daughter. And so I'm like, is it, I don't know if it's like maybe she could have felt guilt or it's like maybe she's like, oh, I just want to give this girl like the best life that she could get. Cause I don't even know if they even told us why they were adopted. Like, I can't remember that.
Yeah. But I would say that it was more, I think it was just her parenting style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if I would add guilt to that or just wanting to give her like a good life, but parenting style and then where they came from. So Ray came more from money and Lisa was like hustling for money to come in and Ray just had it.
Oh, yeah,
And
in Detroit.
uh-huh. And so their lifestyles were very different.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I Lisa definitely came across probably as more of a friend at times where she could have been more strict or just more provided more guidance. But I don't think she was so hands off that she wasn't a parent.
Okay. You thought
Yeah.
she was more hands on.
Yeah, I think she was still hands on, but I can definitely see how she comes across as a friend in many moments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, do you think because at the end of the day they kind of had to co-parent, but I was like, do you think that maybe because Lisa was Lisa, they went to Lisa's house, baby Ray was so shook at the house. It was so funny, but I was like, she's coming from like a single mother type thing, how you're saying like hustling. And so she has a different perspective on life where Ray is like, he has this like, structure. We do this, we do this, we do that. And so I was like, well, with Lisa, she's coming from like a single mother perspective. And then it's like, boom, now she has like two girls that she's trying to raise or trying to help raise with one. And I was just like, I just wonder, maybe like what she was thinking when she had to kind of like play that motherly role to like somebody who she just met because they met at like 12 or something.
Yeah. But I think even in the show they struggled like they even showed the struggles of that of wanting to parent or discipline the other child.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa and Ray really had to work together to feel comfortable doing that. And there were even moments where Lisa would tell Ray that she that he was being too hard.
Yeah. That's what I was wondering. And then he's like, oh, Ray's just like, well, this is how we do it in this thing. And that's why I was like, Lisa can come off as like the chill, but like you said, like she was more the like emotionally safe. I think that's like a really good like word for that. Do
Yeah.
you I guess I don't know, like do you see or have you seen I would say like these type of mother daughter relationships, like it's like they're friends with their child, because when we're growing up, it was definitely different thing to watch because like Lisa seems like friends, she seems fun and stuff like that. But when you're growing up, you know how like your mom is like, oh, I'm not one of your little friends, and like it's like no friendship in there.
Yeah.
And so I think that kind of like um hinders the relationship when it comes to that. So we see like we're like, oh, Lisa could be our mom because she's fun, she's our friends. But then like when you turn to in real life, it's like your mama's not your friend.
Right. I think that you there's a line that can't be crossed.
Hmm.
Um, and which is why I think Lisa kind of jumped between that line where if you're too much of a friend, then you're providing no structure. And children and teenagers, adolescents, like they need structure
Hmm.
because they need guidance and they need to know, like they're still very much learning. And that's part of what parenting is to guide and get them to adulthood and make sure that they are capable adults. And so if you're too tight, then you release children into the world or, new adults into the world having like they know nothing because you never really let them learn.
Mhm.
So you don't want to be so strict that your children don't even understand the world. But
Mhm.
if you're too much of a friend, then you're providing absolutely no guidance to actually get them out into the world. So I really think there's a line between when friend becomes a problem. Because if your child also can't talk to you and they can't trust you, then you have a teenager that doesn't go to their parents.
Mhm.
They don't call them if something's wrong. Like they don't they won't reach out because they're scared of getting in trouble. Like their parent just stops knowing what's happening in their life. And so if it's too far to one side, whether you're too far to friendship or too far strict, neither one really works in parenting.
Yes, I do see what you're saying. So do you feel like okay, because they were adolescents and then they went to high school. I
Mhm.
guess they were already in high school. I was kind of confused because it looked like they were in high school to me. Maybe they're, but I said 12, so I don't really know. I don't know the
Yeah,
ages.
it may have just jumped really fast, but most of the show was high school.
Yeah, high school, and I seen it, but I was like, they look like they were young. Oh, okay, okay. I know what I got mixed up. They did like a flashback to when they met, and that was when they were young. Okay, okay. I was like, I don't know what happened. So from high school to college, like, did you see? I guess like a difference in like maybe Lisa's parenting styles. I feel like when they went off to college, though, they didn't really like the parents weren't really
That much of yeah.
yeah, like, that much in their life.
Yeah. But I can think back to like some of the episodes and when the girls had struggles or when something was happening. If I remember correctly, the parent they usually called first was Lisa.
Mhm.
They
Almost
usually didn't want to call Ray.
no, never.
Yeah. And so it you don't you want to be the parent your kid can call,
Mhm.
but you also don't want to be the parent that you're you don't want to be the parent that's partying with your child. You don't want to be so much of a friend that you're not a parent.
Mhm. Is
You
that
know,
you think there's a certain age limit, though, of when you can party with your child?
I mean, let's hope they're adults, that they're not in high school and you're trying to party with them.
Well, yes, I'm saying 'cause I'm like, I think I've seen parents party with their children before, but
Yeah,
they're
but think about high school kids who have the cool mom or the mom that'll give alcohol or the mom that'll let you do whatever at her house because she doesn't care. The mom that just provides no guidance. Teenagers aren't happy in that house either.
oh, you don't think so? That no guidance? I feel like teenagers love, like, when they could do whatever they wanna do.
Nope. It looks like it on the outside, but it's not real.
Oh, because then on one hand, it could be like, "Oh, does she care about me, or does she?" Because it's like you're not even doing any.
Yep. Or sometimes are you even stable enough to really care about me?
Oh, mhm.
Yeah.
That's good. Um, dang, I forgot. I was supposed to ask another question. Oh, dang it. Okay, let me get back to my questions.
Yeah.
Um, before I forget. Oh, do you think Lisa was protective, like overprotective, or not really?
No, but I think Lisa was a parent that will show up and advocate for her.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, I think oftentimes like Ray would talk about how loud Lisa's mouth was, but Lisa was going to advocate. She was going to show up and she was going to fight for her daughter.
Yes, Ray would be like, "Oh," she'd be like, "Where you get that from?" It was one episode, and Ray was like, Elise was like, "You always say I'm eating. Where you get that from?" She was eating. When she was, I was like, I mean, Lisa was hilarious. He said, I don't know, maybe because you're eating right now. It was so funny. I love Lisa though. Like she is so funny, and I think that, yeah, I feel like her character balanced like mother and then also like dream chasing, like she was really good. And I feel like sometimes like they talk about women, our mothers, kind of lose themselves. And granted, they were adopted, so it's a different story when they got it. But like I feel like she was still like trying to chase her dreams. She still had like a life. Like I feel like she kind of like balanced motherhood in a way that she didn't forget about herself.
Yeah, no, she didn't. She
Yeah.
still very much had her personality. She had her friend. Like she still
Mhm.
had her things.
Yeah, so I think that that was good too, to also like show and see like she was able to still do her and have her kids, because I feel like sometimes it's more like, oh, I'm just like, people have titles and it's like, oh, I'm just a mom. And it's like they can't really do anything else. But it's like, no, you're a mom, you're a friend, like, you do everything else or whatever. Like you have a job or she has like a career and stuff like that. So I really liked how they kind of like balance like her as a, I guess, as a character, I should say.
Yeah, just as a woman, she wasn't just a mother.
Yeah, she wasn't just mother, so I really did like that. I appreciated that. And then like when they have friends come around, stuff like that, like she would always be talking to them. Like she was very present.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the word. Like being present around the kids. So I think that that was good too. I think that was cool that Tamara was able to like have a woman figure in the house, because Ray was a little strict, and we like, why are you so strict? So I thought that that was cool that she was able to have like a woman figure in there. Um,
Yeah.
I think sometimes Tamara, but then I was like, oh, it could be kind of fun because Tamara probably leaned on Lisa a little bit more. Whereas like Tia's like, how we talked about like that's my mom, that's my mom. Is like to Tamara, it's like it's just like a another adult figure.
Mhm.
And so I think because Tamara did ask for advice from Lisa like a
Yeah.
lot in certain times. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. Like to just feel safe, be able to feel like safe with somebody that lives with you. So like that is kind of crazy. Like we're just co-parenting just because we're twin sisters. I mean, I get it, it's the show, but I was just like, ah.
Yeah. Definitely an interesting dynamic because I don't know if that would happen in the real world.
Yeah, like y'all just co-parent together. Y'all just have they just be splitting families up, child. And I think that is really sad though. Honestly, I was like, dang, like of course we know it's a show, but like when kids get split up like that and then it kind of does show too, like the lifestyles can be completely different from
Oh, for sure.
hmm from where they come from or how they live, how they're raised. It could be totally completely different.
Yeah.
I wish there was a thing where we could see their parents. Like the parents, it would be really cool. But
The parents of the parents. What do you mean?
the real parents.
Oh,
Like T and Tamir's like real mom, real dad, like quotations. Like
yeah.
to see, I think that'd be kind of cool because it's like, what? How did you get to adoption? But I know it's a show. So do you feel like, well, I don't know, watching it, do you feel like you gravitated to like Tia more or Tamara more?
Growing up for sure, Tia.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I was the kid that did the right thing.
I did say that too. I did an episode on about Sister on the podcast, and I was like, I think I'm very much like Tia. Like, well, I was like type A. I feel like I'm a little type B ish. Like I was like type A, like do my work, do this. But then it's like Tamara's like the fun party girl, so it's like trying to get to that part.
Yeah, I was not a fun party girl. I went to parties, but I would definitely was not known as the party girl.
No,
Yeah, I did the right thing.
I understand. Because you said you're a mom as mom. Do you see like you lean more towards like Elisa, or do you feel like you lean more towards? There's no other person on the show, but
Yeah, right. Um, I definitely won't go as far toward I guess we're gonna use the word friendship here. I would not go as far toward friendship as Lisa,
mm-hmm.
but I'm not going to be as strict as Ray or some other moms can be. My hope for my motherhood is that my daughter trusts that she can bring anything to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to overreact. I'm not going to make it about myself. I'm not going to be overly emotional that now she has to take care of me. Um, I want to be just solid for her and that she can make mistakes and bring them to me and we're going to fix them. Um, but also, I'm not going to accept like sneaking around. Like, I still want to have rules, but
Mm-hmm.
I also want to be a safe place for her. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. Do you think that with this dynamic, um, with like Tia and Tamara, and then Lisa, like with the motherhood, I guess I'm like, do you feel like they show like a great representation? of mother-daughter relationships?
I think it shows one version of it.
Oh.
Yeah. Like there's many versions and Lisa's one version. Um I think at times we can see that Tamara wanted more of the mother than the friend that she was getting.
Mm.
But also then you can see times where she really leaned on her mom and she was able to show up for her. So I think that Lisa probably could have reined in her friendship part a little bit more for Tia.
Mhm.
But she did show up for her. She did advocate for her. Like she did raise her well. She wasn't completely hands off. But yeah, I think it's one version of motherhood, and it's not necessarily the right version. Um, I like to tell moms that the right version of motherhood is the one that the daughter in front of you needs.
Okay.
Like what I needed and what maybe you needed from a mom probably didn't look the same.
Mhm.
And so if we're trying to take one playbook and parent a daughter in that way, we still may be missing her because we're
Mhm.
not looking at what she's needing from us.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. But do you think that Tia and Tamara felt seen in the house?
I do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. And I think that is important too. Like some people like this type of mom, like we just talked about different type of moms on TV, but like there's different type of moms, there's different type of structure,
Yeah.
and that kind of hones in on their experiences. Do you wish that they would have went to therapy on the show?
They probably could have used it in the way that they blended their families. Yes.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, that could have been like a missing link. Like
Yeah.
they should have might have went to therapy.
Yeah, it definitely could have helped, especially with the parents because they really struggled because the parenting styles were so opposite. And so the
Mhm.
girls were also in the middle of them trying to figure out how they wanted to parent together and then fighting over, well, that's my daughter. You can't parent her. I think they had that in like one episode, but
Mhm.
yeah, they definitely could have used some therapy.
Yeah, and then it's like, but it's funny though because you know how they say like, oh, you ask your dad something, and then like you ask your mom. Like I feel like they were that too. Like, oh yeah, let's get Lisa. Or like, oh, don't tell my dad. Like, oh, when Tamara, this is so funny. You could tell their personalities was different because Tamara like ran into the trash can like her in the car. She
Yeah.
got in her car. She got in her dad's car. And T is like, this is not a good idea. This is not a good idea. When I think about it now, when I watch it back, I'm like, Tamara was trying to hide the keys, probably just to get in the car, just to go do something. And T's like, this is not a good idea. She's like, what are you doing? And Tamara like, it's okay, it's okay. And then she freaking hits the trash can. And so it is eating Tia alive to hold that secret, but also Ray blamed it on her mom, and that car was beat up. But Tamara's just like, it's okay, don't tell nobody. Tamara's like, no, it's okay, I won't. But then like it's like eating Tia alive. And so I think even that to what we were speaking about earlier is like Tia feels like she could tell her mom something because she trusts that her mom is going to, understand or be mad or whatever. But like Tamara's like, don't tell my dad. Like, it was I feel like it was like more fear based,
Yep.
like fear based with Tamara, and I guess maybe like more empathy based. But Lisa was mad, but she wasn't like gonna go crazy. Versus like Tamara gonna get grounded for like a year.
Yes. Yep.
I don't know what is the opposite. Is that the right word? I don't know. Like because there's fear based parenting, which I
Mhm.
feel like a lot of us was raised on.
Yeah.
Just being black, growing up, like we were really raised on a lot of fear based um analogies. Now I feel like people aren't really doing fear based. Now they're doing gentle parenting and child. That's his own thing.
Yeah, but if we're gonna go opposite or just pick a different, if we're not gonna land on gentle parenting, because I know that can become very polarizing. Instead of fear-based, parents are leaning on respect-based parenting,
Oh,
showing
okay.
their children respect, and so discipline is still a part of respect.
Mhm,
Rules and structure is still a part of respect, but you don't have to be afraid of me. I'm here to help you, not to scare you.
mhm, like scare tactics. Yeah, I guess I was trying to say Ray used like fear based thing. I didn't know what Lisa used. Like I don't know if what you would say Lisa used.
Yes, I think she probably leaned towards respect. So if we're thinking about like parenting quadrants or like just
Mhm.
parenting the bigger, let's go with the overarching terms because each one has their different terms that fall under it. But we have authoritarian parenting.
Mhm.
Those are fear based. They're in charge. You do exactly what they say, and being respectful means you're being obedient. They want obedient children. That's authoritarian. Authoritative are the parents that have rules. They have expectations, but their child trusts them. They come to them to talk to them. They're the ones that are gonna send the mom a text message and say, "Hey, come pick me up at a party because I don't feel safe." And that child is probably not going to get in trouble for being at the party because they trusted their parent and called them versus kind of getting in trouble. That's going to be like authoritative. And then you have permissive parenting where the child is more in control. And that's where the friendship parenting is going to fall under because the kid really gets to make the rules in the friendship parenting.
Mm. Okay, that's good. I like that. Where do you think most people fall at? Most parents.
I think most parents are attempting to fall under authoritative, but they fall under authoritarian because they do use fear based punishment and fear based tactics. And so
Mhm.
they want obedience from their child. And so they are doing whatever they can to make that child obedient.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay, then. Well, I was gonna ask, do you feel like there is, because this is about like the complexities of mother and daughter relationships. Like
Yeah.
some people, have great relationships with their mom. Some people don't have great relationships with their mom. What would you say for like a person like who doesn't have a great relationship with their parents? Like if they're grieving that relationship, or maybe some best ways to kind of approach their like mom or whatever, like if they don't really have a good relationship, are they trying to kind of like maybe build one? Because as you're saying, a lot of people who like they'll be like, you do this, you did you this. Some of them they might be what is it called? Not no contact with their parents, after you raise and you kind of leave. So I feel like that's what they're missing. That's what parents are missing. Like you raise your child up to an adult, you're not their friend, they don't even talk to you no more. And they wonder why their kids don't talk to them or whatever. So like there's like I would say strained relationships kind of because you have that one who is really close, like Atia might talk to her mom, right? Samara might not talk to her dad on the TV
Right.
because it's just like how they were raised. Like, what advice would you give in that scenario?
To the daughter.
Yes.
So it would depend on what she wanted. Um, if she wanted to fix the relationship with her parents or with her mother, then we would first work on her like accepting the relationship that she got
Mm,
because sometimes that's the hardest part. And when people hear that, they hear like just accept how you were treated by your parent, and that's not what I mean. Not making excuses for mothers who hurt their daughters even if it wasn't intentional. It's more of we have this desire for the mom that we want,
mm-hmm.
and then when you don't get her, it really hurts. And so when I say accept the mom that you got, is accept the version of the mother that you got, not accept how she treated you.
Mm,
And so when that's going to be like the first step to healing is like accept who she is. Because if we keep trying to heal through hoping she's someone different, healing is just going to go a lot slower because we're still looking through like rose colored glasses of hoping she'll change. And she's probably not going to.
mm-mm.
And so it's, yeah. And then if I have a daughter who if I'm working with a daughter who wants to be estranged, she does not want her mom. She wants to cut her mom out of her life. Maybe she feels safer that way. Then her first step is to work through the grief of that. Like that's a huge breakup.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she'd have to work through the grief of what losing her mom means and not having her mom and how she's going to deal with that.
Okay, I love that. I love the two different options or two different perspectives on how it is. Because I think so many, I see it all on social media and people talk about it, the relationships, but like you see so many positives, but it's also like for so many positives, there's always a negative. I don't really feel like there's always a space to kind of talk about it because, being raised, your mom is like who took care of you, or even like who birthed you at the end of the day. And so it's like there's this reverence and respect that you have to have for your mothers, but also there's this, I guess, like you said, like the version of like who you thought you would have as a mom, or maybe who you thought you would want, and it's like that is not what you got.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like trying to navigate that, you know,
Yeah.
grown, or even if you are like still in the house with your mom, I feel like it is two different, like, coins to be like, "Oh, okay, which, how do I go, what do I want?" So yeah, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So yeah, as we wrap it up, is there anything else that you feel like we might have missed talking about sister or mother daughter relationships that you wanted to add?
Mm, trying to think about the show.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, I don't know, but just thinking about like moms of teenagers since they
Mhm.
were teenagers in the show. Um, I would tell them to create a daughter to talk to them because that's how you keep her. That's how you know what's happening in her life. That's how
Sorry, you
you.
cut out. So sorry, you cut out. You said create a something, then it cut out.
Okay, can you hear me now? Am I back?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Create an avenue for your daughter to talk to you.
Okay.
Because if she's talking to you, then you know what's happening in her life. You know that she's building trust with you. You
Mm,
know that if she's ever in trouble, I mean like big trouble, not just like in trouble with you, but something happens at school. She feels like she made a bad decision with friends. She's at a party she's not supposed to be at, and everyone's drinking, and she didn't drive, and she doesn't want to get in the car. Like if she's ever in any kind of trouble, if there's an avenue to talk to you, she's going to call you.
mhm,
There's not an avenue to talk to you, you run the risk of her getting into bigger trouble
mm,
because she's scared to talk to you. And
mhm.
so moms of teenagers, create it, whatever that needs to look like. Start a journal where y'all write back and forth together.
Oh.
Start asking questions at dinner time. Start learning about her and be curious about your daughter.
Mhm.
So if she needs to call you, she will. I'd rather be the mom that's called than the mom that finds out later.
I think that's really great too. And I was like, kind of, I honed in on it earlier, but I was like, I feel like that growing up, moms are like, I'm your mom, not your friend. I'm like, you miss creating that relationship, and everything is a relationship. And then when you don't have that relationship, you're like, well, you're my mom. That's all you are to me. Like,
Yeah, I was
you're
too
not a
scared
friend.
to call you. I
Yeah,
was too afraid.
you don't have a relationship. We're not friends. We're not cool. So it's like, what are we talking about? Or like, what are we even doing? So I feel like now, when I see it, just what I see on social media, people are more like wanting, I don't want to say wanting to be friends with their kids, but they're more like you were saying, respect. Like they're like more friendly with their kids. They're more nice with their kids. Like, when you're younger, they're like, "Oh, do you got McDonald's money?" And now people are like, "Yeah, we do have McDonald's money." So I'm like, okay, but then
Yeah,
you got to think of like kids entitlement also like that. But I feel like this generation, I don't say softer as in a bad way, but I feel like they're a little bit softer with their children than the way that we were raised.
yeah,
So,
I agree.
hmm I
Yeah.
think I see that a little bit more on social media now. But yes, but thank you so much for coming and chatting with me. I really appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Where can everybody follow you or find you to support you?
Yeah, so I'm on social media. I mostly use Threads,
Oh,
and it's at the Brittany Scott. I also have a podcast called the Mother Daughter Relationship Show, where I talk all things mother daughter relationships about mothers of teen daughters, adult daughters, estrangement, reconnection, like just all
mm,
of it.
mhm.
And I also have a YouTube channel. So Brittany Scott is what you can search.
Okay, what do you have on YouTube? Is it the like the
Um,
podcast or?
the same thing, mother daughter relationships.
Okay, okay. Well, that's so cool. Thank you so much for joining. And we did meet on Threads. So shout out to Threads, because Threads is how I'm meeting all my new people.
It's so fun and easy over there. Like it's
Yeah,
just
it's a little
easier.
mini Twitter. And I don't feel like I'm so overwhelmed on Twitter. I was just like, oh my gosh, like it's so many different people's ideas. Threads is like a little bit like I'm really only seeing people that talk about what I like to talk about versus I feel like Twitter, you could just see anything. So I feel like threads is like a little, smaller. But
Yeah.
yes, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. I think mother and daughter relationships can be complex. I think some are great, some are not that great. So I just thought that it was a unique way to kind of talk about it. Last time I talked about it a little bit. I wanted to kind of talk about it with the Parkers, but I talked about that Nikki and Kim Parker was
Hmm.
very interesting, that dynamic. So just seeing how mother daughter relationships are on TV, I
Yeah.
think that it can either help us feel seen or help us not feel seen. If we look at the Claire Huxtable and all those Fresh Prince of Bel Air, like we just see all of them and they're like strong women, but it's like what were they like as mothers? So I think it's just an interesting perspective to look at it that way.
I
So
agree.
yes, thank you so much for joining. If this is your first time watching Main Character Monday, this is where we talk about our favorite characters on TV from a womanhood lens. And this time we just wanted to do motherhood. So if this is your first time, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you check out Black Girls in Podcast. We upload every Wednesday. All things about womanhood and media. The series we're doing right now is called Finding Your Passion, Finding Your Voice Through Your Passion, because I'm very passionate about people finding their voice. So, you can listen to that on YouTube and any other podcasting platform you use. So, I will see you all next time that I'm live. Thank y'all for watching. Have a great night or morning whenever you watch this.